what's going on today? Generon, Tesla, Restoration Hardware up 8% on some earnings. Actually, it's not earnings. That's Warren Buffett taking a position. JD.com up 5% on earnings. That's pretty good. Let's see if there's any follow through on this. INMD new highs. Carvana trying to bounce out of some moving averages. Fortinet doesn't want to show up on my screen. Visa's looking very good right here. Roku. All right, Roku trying to break through some resistance. Did yesterday, actually. So kind of an inverted head and shoulders here, actually. With maybe a nice reversal up there. So market's still holding steady at the open, not falling or rising. I don't see a tremendous amount of stuff jumpy. See what's low today. ACB. Man, that thing's getting murdered lately. Pays. You're down a bunch. Hexocron, CGC. So it looks a lot like yesterday. Restoration Hardware. Oh, there's a nice drop in Pays. It's a lot of volume. See if that's buyable or not. What's up, Justin? Not that we're looking to buy Pays, but all right, go back to so. Recent add to the actual list is Visa. Visa actually looks pretty good. Had a pocket pivot yesterday. Right there on top of a couple over here. Also setting up in this nice flat base. Moving averages loosely converging over here, the 10-day and the 50-day. So Visa looking promising market. There you go, starting to pull in just a little bit. Restoration Hardware with a investment by Warren Buffett, oddly enough. Although it's not really oddly because it's a big furniture place. He likes those types of businesses. INMD new highs. Get this thing on pullbacks. JD gapped up on earnings just a little bit though. Let's see if it can hold that gap. AMD new highs actually gapping up. Pretty encouraging. Maybe we'll get a gap fill and buy this thing off of the 10-day line because it's riding this 10-day line straight up. D-Dog, recent breakout, kind of, and we're above the breakout point right now. Need to get some volume in here, and maybe we can actually have a move out of this guy. Snap bouncing off the 200A. Xilinx, this guy may be trying to make a reversal here. This is almost a longer term trend line here. Looks fairly promising, a little far away. I'm not sure if there's anything to get excited about quite yet, other than the fact that it I bought Visa last week. Nice, Justin. Yeah, other than the fact that this hasn't gone lower, even through earnings, is good. Didn't undercut right there, but definitely nice and range bound underneath that $100 level. I guess best case scenario, this is just a short trip underneath 100, then it pops back over that, which may coincide with this trend line break, and maybe off we go. Oh, I just saw a trend line snap I didn't have drawn. It's a smaller trend line. It's not a large one, but does appear to exist on the weekly chart. It looks like a double bottom, but the buy point is basically at the high. So that looks potentially promising. Moving averages converging may cause a rebound there. Momo pulled back to the breakout point, and looks like it's starting to get above it yesterday. Good volume at the end of the day. Rally here is on lower volume. Hopefully that rally at the end of the day will solidify that, but seeing a rocket ship. INS actually getting pretty tight here. Doesn't look like it on the weekly chart, but on the daily chart, you're fairly tight against that trend line. Oh, that's my line. That's my head and shoulders line. So no pocket pivots down there, but one green day so far. Looks like a nice bottoming day right there. And Fortinet still holding well above our longer term trend line. Looking a lot like Skyworks here. Over our long-term trend line, just not really willing to pull back yet. And then Skyworks gapping up before earnings over here, and then doing pretty good on earnings, gap down, but all the way back up. That's a lot of volume. So Skyworks doing good here. Maybe we'll base a little bit. MasterCard versus Visa, they're the same thing, Justin. I don't even know why they're different symbols. They should just merge. They probably can't due to antitrust issues, but yeah, I think MasterCard is a little bit weaker than Visa. You actually have Visa with a pocket pivot right here. Actually, 3 pocket pivots over here too, which MasterCard does not have. But regardless, if one moves, the other will move too. There's no differences between their business. They just split the country in half, essentially. All right, D-Dog able to try to hold higher. NASDAQ pulling in just a little bit. Now we're back to, here's our prior high. I mentioned the Bollinger Bands were extending while the price was going flat. Now it looks like we're reaching a little bit. Hey, what's up, Eli? Morning, Rob. Got the gang here. Yeah, I really don't like those socialist MasterCard bastards. It's all about the conservative Visa people. Yes, we transact with electronic payments based on political objectives. Welcome to America, Eli. You haven't learned that yet about us. All right, so a couple more reds creeping in, but nothing out of control. MJ getting obliterated. Disney pulling back here a little bit. Disney pretty extended there the other day. I actually watched that pop off. That was pretty interesting. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I didn't take any positions, but that That's a pretty expansive move right there. They announced they had 10 million subscribers on the first day. I don't think that's that great news, to be honest with you. Because what else? I mean, what are they going to get? 1 million subscribers? No, it's Disney. It's the social media. Everybody knows they were launching. So you took profits out of Tesla? Okay, that's cool. Yeah, Tesla with a beautiful run up. I don't think I'm still holding mine. I'm going to hold mine for longer term. So I don't really think it's done. Maybe I'll actually add on some pullbacks. Maybe something I start doing here with at least with Tesla. Yeah, it does appear to be drying up in volume a little bit, so maybe we'll start get some choppy action. Buy on pullback. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I mean we're up. If you look at the weekly chart of Tesla, I mean we're from 200 all the way up to 350. That is a impressive move, regardless of the name. Um, the funny thing is, this is the funny thing, is that I was reading an article, and the short sellers, um, what day was this? Oops. This pop here was the 25th. The Tesla was on the 25th. The short sellers apparently come out on the 31st. So after the pop, which would be right here, there's still like 31% short float. So most of the short sellers are still in there. Just based on carrying costs alone, I'm not sure how long they can keep that up, but apparently it's after a 20+% gap up out of a cup and handle. So yeah, they're still holding on, and may fuel the next rally up into new highs. It's kind of at least my hope. Amazon shop lower. Well, Amazon was looking better last time we talked about it. We did take another little leg lower here. Earnings 423. I wonder why they. I don't really follow the earnings that much, but especially on a stock like Amazon, there's so much to probably to know about because there are so many different businesses. Um, yeah, it's just chop, I think. Obviously, it's not good for the market when a stock like Amazon doesn't rally, but I think it's just chop. We don't have any major distribution. If you have much longer term bags in Amazon, I think you just kind of let it work. Now, if it starts, I don't know. The trader in me says that it's not setting up to rally right now, so you may have to wait a little while. We've seen some stocks top and then go down, but Amazon kind of it's one of those monopoly stocks. You're really not going to take down Amazon. Almost any of their main business lines are, firmly number one in their industry. So unless their growth really starts decelerating, which is probably led by sales more than it is even by earnings. Gross margin 41%. That's crazy. Sales. Yeah, EPS for the next several years are still rated to be super high. So they're having some issues shorter term, but longer term, at least according to the analysts and what everyone looks at, they appear to be okay. But oh really? You bought Tesla call for $1 and bought it and sold it for 6? Wow, that's cool. That's impressive. Good job. All right, let's go top down again, see what's working. Oh, back at the 180s. That looks like it's one of those. I was talking about that trade the other day. Not well, it wasn't 180, but down here I was looking to buy a call for a 350, and I forget the time frame. I don't remember. I didn't save the trade or anything, but that was looking like a 250% gainer. That would have worked out really well. JD.com gapping up on earnings. Looks like pulling back. Still trying to hold higher. Not sure if it will. D-Dog. Breaking into new highs. Volume kind of normal. Nothing great going on there. Regeneron. Trying to come right back, actually. Which is really nice. That's a good looking one. AMD new highs. Looks like no real major stopping for AMD yet. This thing looks like it's just walking up the 10-day moving average. So as long as it's above the 10-day, it's probably good to go. If it pulls back to the 10-day, something like this or this or this, that looks like good. INMD, Xilinx. Talked about that already. Snap. Masi. Looks like you may be trying to get going. Definitely breaking over some highs after earnings. Couple of good green pops in here. Nothing really to write home about. But support off the 200-day moving average, which is right there. And so far, it's pretty much rallied off the 200. It looks like it may be trying to do the same here. So that could be a potential entry on Masi. Let's check it out. Masimo, Medical Instruments and Supplies. Definitely with a falling wedge pattern. $7 billion. Market cap. Gross margin 66%. Profit margin 20%. That's very good. Earnings are good. Sales a little lackluster. Yeah, so all the moving averages right here spreading out. And it should be turning up here. So Masi's looking pretty good. Definitely would like some volume, though, which we're not getting yet. Not at all. So definitely need some volume. Without volume, either take a much smaller position or you pass on it. All right, Nasdaq still holding okay. We're scratching holding on to those gains. Okta pulling in a little bit here. Okta with the moving averages converging and then trying to break out right there. Volume a little bit light. And yesterday with kind of a coiling day that kind of uncoiled a little bit towards the end of the day. Now it looks like we're dropping off there. Earnings are in 3 weeks or so. So market trying to hold on to those gains. Got to see if it's going to be able to do that. But not selling off in mass is pretty good. AMD is probably one of the best acting ones in the market at the moment. How's our HEI doing? HEI is doing really good here. Curling up at the 200-day moving average. 10 and 50-day about to cross each other again here. So that could bode well. HEI doing good. Justin's asking how everyone's invested, how much cash we've got. I have some cash. Don't have a tremendous amount. I don't have my portfolio open right now. But I also have my TQQQ position, which takes a lot of cash. So yeah, I'm about 80% invested. I got one more position I can take, basically. You never got back in the TQs, Rob? Really? I got in a little later than I probably should have. I was kind of fudding myself out of stuff, which is never good, but I'm still up about 10% in it. So I think I got in on this day, maybe this day, something like that. Yeah, so there's that upper trend line on the NASDAQ. We were talking about that the other day. Looks like we may have hit that. Yeah, one thing about the market is listen to the market and don't listen to your fear. I finally had a that's when I actually pulled my trigger on the TQs is when I realized that I'm like, "Oh, why am I listening to FUD?" I was listening to FUD. It's not that I guess I was a little scared, but at some point you have to realize that okay, the market's actually doing what it's supposed to do, which is move higher, and you just kind of have to stay involved with that. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, when we talked about it, several times, but we're just sitting here holding at highs. That's actually good. It's good when you're sitting at highs. It doesn't mean it's waiting to drop. It means it's waiting to go up. If the market wants to drop, it's going to drop. It becomes fairly obvious. So we did have some scary moments, but they never really came to fruition ever since. I think we had a follow through. We didn't go into a correction here. I think our follow through day was over here. So if you notice, we chopped through that follow through day this entire time. It goes back to June, and then we finally expanded out here in like 4 months later. We chopped around for a considerable amount of time. Enough time to be scared here and scared here, but also enough time to, I don't know. When the market doesn't fall, it's not falling. That's all there is to it. So you have to listen to the market, and if it's going up, it's telling you to go with it. Just the way that it is. All right, JD, a little bit of reversal here. See if we're able to get up maybe. Okta down about 0.82%. That's not Okta. No, Justin, just the TQQQ. I don't do any other index funds. I did buy a little bit of Bitcoin in my Roth IRA. I'm like, oh, you know what? Why not? I'll just buy some. I bought some GBTC. I did buy some GBTC. It was down here. I think it was before that day, or on that day, or something like that. But it's profitable. It was. I don't know where it is. Anyway, yeah, I'm up like 10% in it or something like that. Oh, 6%. I'm up 6% in it. So, yeah, we'll see. It's a longer term position, kind of like Tesla, but it's a smaller one. I don't want to put too much into Bitcoin in case it does roll over deeper. I didn't want to get hurt by it, so. So that I've got. Also have a longer term Tesla position, which is basically a full-fledged position in Tesla, and I don't anticipate liquidating that position for a very long time, unless it makes some other substantially fundamentally bad moves. Which hopefully after they finish the second Gigafactory, they'll be okay. It's kind of like, I don't know. I'm kind of viewing Tesla a bit like trying to rent out houses. Is that building the first one sucks, building the second one sucks, but getting the third one's a little bit easier. I feel like they're that way with their gigafactories. I know they technically have 3 because they got the one in Buffalo, but that's not producing cars. Yep, all the MJ stuff taken on the chin. Yeah, ACB was down significantly the past couple of days. That MJ sector is not ready yet. So yeah, just kind of picking your poisons. I got what do I got? I have a smaller, older Carvana trade which I trimmed. I've got Carvana It's still within the trend, so I'm not ditching it yet. Hopefully, it's getting ready to bounce off this. Come on, getting ready to keep bouncing off that trend line here into new highs. So that one's doing okay. I got Okta trying to break out here. That one's doing my stuff's doing okay. It's not great. The market's not really running. I got Fortinet breaking out of this. I missed so many of my long-term trading opportunities. I don't even know why. Just scared, I guess. I'm trying to buy more and get back to these longer-term trading opportunities. So I got Fortinet. That one's looking good. I got JD, which also broke out of kind of a longer-term thing there. That's up pretty good. I don't know. May take partial profits on JD. I don't know. It's reversing here. I did get some D-Dog too. I did get some D-Dog on the breakaway gap right there. Looks like that one's starting to work, so that's good. I think that's all I got. Yeah, that's what I'm in right now. But I'm majority in TQQQ and Tesla. That's most of my portfolio. And then Fortinet, I've got a full position. Everything else, I've got like a half and less. And then I've got a position in cash. So things are doing okay. Not great, but hey, if you're making some here and some there, you can't complain too much, I guess. Kids leave yet? Oh, I guess they left. I haven't heard noises for a while. Guess they don't want to say goodbye to their dad anymore. They're already past that. And Okta not looking so great here. We'll see how this pullback works out. MDCO coming in a little bit. This name took off. Just really took off. Looks like it's finally pulling in, but very low volumes. Actually undercutting the 50-day there on low volume. So if you can, excuse me, if this can reverse, that may be good. Maybe I don't know where we're going to go on that one. Could go play with the 200-day moving average. We're under the 50. Last time it just kind of dropped lower and then put in a bullish candle here and then a pocket pivot, and it was off to the races. So maybe you look for a pocket pivot entry on MDCO as it pulls in here. I was thinking about putting that last position in Visa though. Ameren taking off. Oh, Ameren's already taken off. Stalling a little bit here at recent highs. Yeah, after earnings there. Yeah, it's already quite a bit of volume up there. So yeah, there definitely could be topping candle. It's extended to get in. Maybe try to get it on a pullback. I'm going to start doing a little more with pullbacks to the 10-day moving average when something pops up. So I'm going to start looking more for that. But I think one of the only positions I'm really eyeing right now, actually there is a couple. Let's see if I can, no, that's a crypto. Never mind. That's Visa. Visa with a nice little tight flag situation going on right here. Pocket pivot yesterday. So Visa is something that's in the mix. And if it starts on another rally up there, I've got it at basically taking this rally and extending it almost a measured, oh, actually it is a measured move. If that measured move plays out, that's a pretty aggressive price target for Visa right there. But if that works, that's going to be really good. You're all in BTC, Jake? Well, that's a little scary based on last time I saw Bitcoin. All right, so now we're pulling in a little bit just under that prior high right there. I believe that's right there towards the high right there. So, yeah. So pulling in a little bit right there. Just bought Bitcoin. Oh wow, look at Link with a big spike up. Did Bitcoin do something similar? Not quite yet. Link was just bought up like mad though. What? Yeah, I'm not sure I'm a big fan of that one there, to be honest with you. If you just bought it for a bounce play, that may be one thing, but you can see here lately the last time Bitcoin has had these big drops, it just goes sideways. This time it popped up and fell several hours later. This time it barely popped and rolled right over. Yeah, right, Rob? Well, to be honest with you, the TQQQ can rip your face off pretty effectively, or give you a face. It's a good double-edged sword, but luckily, staying with the market, you at least have a little bit of on CoinMarketCap. Well, CoinMarketCap is lags, Justin. I don't think they do real time. You look right here at TradingView, and it pulled back into the channel and had a big wick on the downside right there. There's a hammer on the 15-minute right there. It's not the best hammer. How's our 1-minute chart doing? So not looking. It's okay. It's definitely not great. My volume aggregation tool, which adds up buying and selling pressure. You can see here the selling pressure was greatly outweighing the buying pressure down here, but we'll see if that can reverse or not. But yeah, Chainlink pulling in with the rest of the market here. Neo taking it on the chin. We were following Neo, and it kind of just rolled over out of nothing. You would have had to take a stop loss on that one. Well, ballsy Bitcoin buy. There's really not much down here supporting it, unfortunately. So I don't know. We haven't been bullish on Bitcoin in a while. Really since the break of this right here, since that finally broke down. A little spooky. So the market's rolling over here a little bit this morning. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. But the market's rolling over a little bit. Carvana looks like it's popping up. We'll see how the day treats us here today. We had a pretty big gap up on the Nasdaq. If you go to the Qs, pretty nice gap up there. Likely almost already filled. It's getting there. So there's the QQQs, but it's been rising this whole time on weaker volume. The average volume has been trending lower. So not the best situation. It is an index though, so it doesn't necessarily have to have high volumes. Usually the high volumes are put in here at the lows, and then it kind of rallies on lower volume. That's usually how it kind of works. Sometimes it rallies on higher volumes, and those are really bullish markets. But we had a couple good pops over here, but lately we've kind of been floating up a little bit. So a big gap up like that being sold off doesn't really seem that unexpected, I guess. Visa at 0.4. So Visa's starting to look really good. Restoration Hardware. Again, a Warren Buffett investment into Restoration Hardware. Wonder how much he got. Berkshire Hathaway. Okay, stake at 0.3%, so they're testing the waters there with RH. Usually Berkshire will kind of, lean into a company. They won't buy everything all at once. Sometimes they do, though. They're probably just testing it. But Berkshire Hathaway does own some furniture companies, so this isn't super unsurprising. It's not out of the wheelhouse. It's a little bit surprising. It is kind of a growth stock that usually, but it's also fairly well established, so maybe it's not too bad. So D-Dog coming in a little bit. There we go, selling off actually. Not so happy going into highs. And Carvana trying to rally through, so that's good. JD coming back a little bit. ACB bottom. Everyone overreact from earnings. Maybe there's quite a bit of volume down here. I don't know about. I don't know if I'd want to put money in it, Jake. Just personally, it's down significantly, about 18% from the prior low there. So good volumes this morning, though. I mean, that's for sure. If you want to take a smaller position and test the waters, I guess you could do that. But I don't know. It's hard to say. You know, like here's another day. Here's another very high volume day that we ended up dropping another 46% from. Already in. All right, yeah. Put your stop at that 272 at the low there. And I guess just let it fly. Yeah, just let it fly then. So you're just looking for oversold coin or oversold stocks there, Jake? It's a ballsy buy. You're just looking for stuff that everyone's running away from. Probably not a bad strategy. DDOG. I'm just kind of looking at the actions. I mean, so far it's okay. It's holding up good. It's got a tremendous amount of volume over here. On the just a tremendous amount of volume over here. Not too much. So I'm trying to give it plenty of space. My stop right now is arguably at about the 38.24 level underneath the gap. So I'm willing to give it some space. I'm pretty light on this. I've only got one option and it's really small. So it's also till April. Got an April call, so I may just let this one hit the stop if it does. Because in theory it should continue going. But if the market rolls over, I don't know, if the market rolls over, I may arbitrarily cut several positions. I don't want to be taking too many losses, so I'm not going to let this. If this gets down here via the option, I'll probably be down about 30%. So not even with a small position, I'm not sure if I want to give it that much wiggle room. But it really shows distribution, and like I said, I'll probably bail early. But I think I'm really looking at this Visa. Having that pocket pivot yesterday was really nice. You can see it right there, most of the volume. Oh, actually, it's right there. It's at the end of the day. That's where the pocket pivot comes in from. But, yeah, so there you go. Visa. Actually, if you look at it from the last earnings report, right there you got, bam, 2 pocket pivots in a row. 10-1-8, 10-1-3, 10. Oh, they're not quite pocket pivots, but they're really, really close. Really close. 50,000 there and 100,000 there. So, really, really close. Less than 1% away from pocket pivots on those. So, loosely pocket pivots over there, and you can see you've been kind of forming this wedge here ever since earnings. So if that starts to break out, I probably won't have a choice but to enter the position. Right there. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here, get something to eat before the power hour, and absorb the weirdness that is crypto. All right, everyone. I will not see you tomorrow. I think today's Friday, isn't it? Yes, it is Friday. So I will see you Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Stay safe out there. And it's starting to get a little chilly in the rest of the country. So get a blanket. All right, guys, have a good one.